All right, for this book, Babble, I'm going to talk about one of the techniques that Foster teaches in his book, How to Read Literature Like a Professor, and within the first couple chapters. And that was Nice to Eat With You, Acts of Communion. And he teaches about the motif of whenever characters gather together and that they eat together and they actually build communion. Now, eating together is something very important, as Foster highlights that whether a meal is successful or unsuccessful, meaning whether the characters get along well or whether they argue or the meal fails, really proves the conflicts within the novel, and it shows what's expected to come. It looks at conflicts more specifically. And a meal can have either two outcomes. First, it can build community and really build relationships. If there's really good communion within the meal, the characters in there will speak and they'll get along and they'll devour their meal and they'll really be comfortable with the other characters. Or the meal can fail and there can be kind of an awkward sense or an angry tone, and this can send negative signals about the relationship between the characters. So taking what Foster taught me during the summer, I applied it to Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. And I saw that the meal that was supposed to be shared by Willy and his sons, right after they both went, his son Biff and Willy both went on two separate proposals to go see if they would be able to achieve that American dream. Biff went to go talk to and propose a business proposal, and Willy went in to ask if he could be moved from a traveling salesman to a desk salesman. And in this instance, they were supposed to meet back and share this meal with the other son, Happy, to, tell each other how great their day was and whether or not they succeeded. But because of the tragic ending that Arthur Miller was planning, he really took this meal and he used it to fail, to send these negative signals that the relationship between Willy and his sons is most definitely strained, and to show unresolved conflicts. The meal resulted in three key things that I noticed, and it was arguing. The characters, Biff, several times using an angry tone, he corrects his father and he's like, "Let me talk." But Willy continually wants to lie, and he wants to say, he tells the waiter that his sons are overly successful. And he has this sense of this false hope and this false belief that, he's believing in this mirage that everything is perfect and that American dream is attainable for this family. And the meal, it isn't successful at all because they don't even get their food served before this arguing starts, and the characters are clearly uncomfortable, they're not happy, and it's just a really strained meal, and it really shows the unresolved conflicts between Biff and Willy, and it really shows how these conflicts of character versus character really played into the end of the novel and how it really ended tragically. Overall, it was just really interesting to see how one meal can really be symbolic of the actual relationships within the novel, and it was really interesting to see how the meal actually failed, because I've seen a lot of meals that were really great and built community, but this one did not. The characters are still not getting along very well.